I'm Maddie with Maddie Sews, and thanks for hanging with me. So you all, I recently made the Greenstyle Creation Studio to Street sweater, and I've been wearing it a lot actually. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, it's inside out because I just took it off. This video is going to be a review of the pattern. So I'm going to walk you through the pattern details, the sizing, the recommended fabrics compared to what I used. And then I'm also going to let you know about some things that you may want to keep an eye out for. And then overall, what I think about this pattern and if I would recommend it to you all. So with all of that being said, let's just kind of jump right into it. So the shape of this pattern is overall a dolman shaped sweater. And it has a couple of different options. So if you can see in this picture right over here, you can see that they're actually hugging my arm. That's the slim fit look that they were going for in this design. There are 3 different sleeve looks for this pattern. You could either just hem that dolman sleeve. You can add a wide band onto that. That band is also slim fit, so just keep in mind that it's meant to be slim fitting. And then there's that long sleeve option. What's really cool about this pattern is that it also comes with various neckline options. Now I opted to do the crew neckline, both the front and the back. However, you can play around with a V in the front, a crew in the back. You can do V in the front and back, crew in the front, V in the back, even a deep V in the back if you really wanted to show off something like your sports bra. I especially like that they added on the band in the back for the V-neck options, because when you tend to have that deep V in the back, the shoulders can shift on you and kind of get out of place. And so that little detail in the back actually holds it nicely in place. So I thought that was a very well thought out design for this top. This shirt was designed to be something that you can throw on at the gym and kind of go and run your errands and still look really cute doing it. So, so it is meant to be more of like an athleisure type of wear. And then finally, let's talk about the hem options, because there are several different hem options, true to Greenstyle Creations design efforts for most of their patterns. So they have a high-low option where it's like a rounded front and back. And then they have a split band that you can put on the bottom. And then you can also just do the straight hem option. This top also comes with a cropped version, and I thought that that was actually really cute. Now let's talk about sizing. The sizing on this top is good, you all. So Greenstyle Creations has been using this kind of letter sizing. They've gotten away from numbers because really we're more than just a number, right? Well, I'm going to tell you you're also more than just a letter, but we're getting somewhere. So their sizing starts at a B and goes up through an M for this top. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to read off what it all is. So the bust runs from a 30 to 61 inches. Waist 22 inches up to 57, and the hips are 32 up to 62 inches. So they have a pretty nice size inclusive size chart, which is really actually convenient. And the way that they've nested all of the pattern pieces together, you can easily blend from one to another. Now for me, I ended up printing out 3 different sizes because my top is a little more slim than my bottom part by my hips. So what I did was I chose the 3 different sizes that corresponded with my high bust actually for my shoulders, my waist, and my hips, and I just easily graded out. Pretty simple. Now let's talk about fabric. So the fabric that they recommend that you use is a knit with 50% stretch, 2-way stretch. So you don't have to worry about 4-way stretch, just a 2-way stretch. And they actually recommend that you use a lightweight knit, something with some drape. And the reason that they actually recommend a lightweight knit is because of these slim fitting sleeves and the band. If you're making something that is a little beefier like I did, the sleeves are going to fit a little more snug, and I depending on you and how you like your sleeves to fit, it may feel a bit too snug. This fabric that I used on my top right here, this is a Lady McElroy jersey knit. However, it is a medium weight. So, I mean, it's not exactly draping the way a lighter weight knit would, and therefore my sleeves didn't really kind of give me that nice loose kind of feeling, if that makes any kind of sense. They just feel a little more snug, trust me. By the way, if you're finding this pattern review helpful, please give me a thumbs up. So let's talk about some of the things that you're going to want to keep an eye out for. And these are some of the things that might trip you up, but definitely you should know about. So when it comes to the slim fitting sleeves, I will say that although I don't mind a slim fitting sleeve like that, if I was someone who had thicker biceps or forearms, I would find this pattern a little uncomfortable to wear because of that, even if I was using a lighter weight knit. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you find that you're one of those people who has thicker arms, you might have to make some adjustments to that sleeve pattern or consider using a larger size for the sleeve. So just keep that in mind. One other thing that you're going to want to take note on is that there are two different cut lines for the center front on this top, and that's because of the V-neck. So if you're making the crew neck, you can cut that on the fold so there's no seam allowance added there. However, if you're doing the V-neck version, there is a seam allowance that's added on, and it's all the same piece, right? So you can see the crew neck and then you can see the V-neck. Make sure that you cut your V-neck with the additional seam allowance. I was going to do a V-neck back, but I accidentally cut off that seam allowance and I was too lazy to go back and tape it back on, so I ended up with a crew neck in the front and the back. And I don't mind it. Honestly, I feel like it's very wearable and I'm happy to have it, but initially I was looking for that V-neck back. Now this pattern is rated for a confident beginner, and I agree with that. I think that a beginner can absolutely make this, and I feel like the bands is what makes it more of like confident beginner type of project. You know, just kind of stretching it on, using your serger. But I do think that it's rated properly. As for whether I would recommend this pattern, I feel like that's a bit of a yes and no. Now, you all, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this pattern for me. And that's mostly because I don't mind a really snug sleeve. I don't mind a slim fitting sleeve. However, if you're someone with thicker arms, that might actually be a little too snug. And so I wouldn't recommend it for someone who has thicker arms and already feels like really kind of self-conscious about that area. Now, wear what you want. I am not saying by any means that if you have thicker arms, you can't wear this pattern, because I don't believe that. I believe that you should wear what you want and what you feel good in. And by all means, if this is something that you like, make it and feel great about it. Because we are all really just fabulous, no matter what our shape or size is. And you all, until next time, I sincerely hope that you find joy and have a wonderful day.